And welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of my Kootenays thrift haul. If you haven't seen part 1, I will link it up above, and enjoy. Also, just a side note, I filmed these clips in October, so when I'm saying like Christmas is ages away, that is why, but this should be going up on Christmas Eve, so happy holidays and Merry Christmas. See you in the new year. Okay, our next step was a Soyuz, but we were there on Sunday, so nothing was really open. So then it was on our drive back on Monday that we took a couple stops. I wanted to stop in Chilliwack because there was a couple of thrift stores in the area. Actually, I didn't really find much. They were like smaller, didn't have a ton of stuff, and the prices weren't that great for the stuff that they did have. But the first stop we did, I did get a couple pieces. It was the MCC Thrift in Chilliwack. I'd been to the one in Abbotsford before, so I was excited to go to a different one because I really enjoyed that one. And the first thing I got were these two mini brass swans. I just love how tiny they are. And the set was for $4, so I thought that wasn't too bad. I actually have a pair of mini ones. I just think they're like the cutest little addition to a space, and I love like the tiny little size of them. Like they're smaller than my ducks. But yeah, they're really fun to find because I feel like I don't tend to find a ton of brass animals, especially in thrift stores. So this little pair was really cute. And then I always go through the frame section, as I said before. And I got this frame, oops, ow. And I thought it was really cool with like the gold detailing and the black, and it was $2. And I thought it was a nice size, and it had the kind of a vintage look, though I don't think it necessarily is a vintage frame. I think this will look maybe really cool with a landscape. I'm not really sure. And then I got one more frame there, also for $2, and it actually has kind of a cute print of a giraffe. And I got this one because I kind of like that lighter wood look to mix in, and this is actually made of like real wood. I feel like you get a lot that are like printed stickers essentially over fake wood, but this one's solid wood, and it has like it's kind of a chunkier frame. Sometimes I like mixing in a more like modern simple frame to break up all like the really vintage stuff, so I really like this. And sometimes like I feel like the art that I want to paint lends itself better to like a more clean modern frame. So yeah, I was really excited about this. I just wanted to film another side, but my camera actually has just turned off because it's overheated. This is my first time filming with my camera. I'm trying to get some better film quality. But yeah, so it's overheated because I've talked too much to myself. Anyways, what I was referring to earlier was like, I just recently finished painting this picture, and I felt like this one, when I was planning it, I wanted it to be paired with more of like a simple minimal frame, because I thought that suited the art a little more, which is why I got this frame, because it's kind of like that same like light wood effect. I like that this one's a little chunkier because some of the art that I create I feel like suits that better, and it's also kind of similar in shape to this frame here. It's actually like pretty much the same design, and you see like that little like, I don't know, way that they've put the frame together I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I will embrace the color of it. I feel like it's because the matting is also like maroon that it's like throwing me off, and it like in the sighting it actually looks quite more of like a neutral wood tone. I actually really liked how this one turned out with that like more minimal frame. You'll see like most of the art on my walls is a little more ornate, but I like mixing in like more wood and simple tones like this as well. But that was all I found there. Even though the store was really big, I felt like they didn't have a ton of stuff. Although they did have a pretty decent Christmas section. Like, I think it's wild. It was like, what is it, 20th of October or so when we went into all these stores, and like there was a lot of Christmas stuff out. I'm like, I feel like I haven't even hit like Halloween yet. Anyways, so we stopped in a couple more, but I actually didn't pick up anything. Like, it's so weird for me to go into a thrift store and not find like anything that I think is worth picking up. But yeah, so that store like had a couple good things. And then we moved on to my favorite thrift store in Abbotsford, which is the MCC Thrift. So this one's like a huge space, and they have a ton of like clothes, accessories, like craft supplies, home decor, kitchenware, furniture, and they have a whole vintage section. And I think the prices are quite fair for most of the items. And they just have like such a wide variety. So that was really great. We got like this one, I'm not gonna show, it's not that exciting. We got a new like wok because our old one, the nonstick was kind of peeling off, and this one was brand new, so we picked that up. It was like 25 bucks, which is like, all right, like, you know, for a brand new pot. And then I didn't actually get that much there. I was like looking, I do feel like I said, like some of these shops out there don't have the best like clothing selection, like not really the style that I'm into. I did get two little things. I just got this like little bag of like this blue ribbon. I really like this color, and I like the more like satiny fabric ribbons rather than like that kind of like plasticky crinkly stuff. I said it's 6 foot and it was 50 cents, so I was like, sure, why not? This will be great to like wrap Christmas presents up, because I'm already like, I know like in my head it's not Christmas, but I also get excited seeing the Christmas section out. And they had a big display of Christmas. I think I was there last time, but they didn't have as much stuff out, but this time I guess it's closer to Christmas. They had a bunch, and I was looking around through it. Okay, so I don't know why, but the filming just like cut off there. But yeah, so I was just saying like I got the blue ribbon that I thought would be cute to like decorate for Christmas with and like add to presents. And yeah, and I think it's like also when I get these materials for like really cheap, I feel like better about like using it instead of being like, oh, I should like save this. Anyways, and then the next thing I got was this little woven wicker little sled that's like painted gold, and I thought it was really cute. I'm actually just realizing that it's actually new with the original tag. It was like from Walmart for $1.50, but the tag looks like pretty old and like maybe vintage. But I got it for 50 cents, and I just thought this would be really cute to like add, like, I don't know, like on a shelf with my little Christmas decorations. And I'm thinking maybe even like make some like little origami like present boxes to fill it up. Yeah, I don't know, it was like shiny and gold, and it made me happy because I like woven things, and I like having a lot of gold in my Christmas decor. And I just got one more Christmas item, because even though I know it's like early to be like thinking about decorating for Christmas, I feel like it's also a good time to start collecting things, especially if you're like buying them secondhand, because you never know what you're gonna come across. And I just thought I'd pick up a couple pieces, because last year I feel like I did go maybe slightly overboard with buying a lot of things, but it was like our first Christmas that we actually got to decorate our space properly. So I kind of wanted to go all out and like build up a collection of things to decorate the space with. So I didn't need a ton, but I had been wanting to get like a mini little Christmas tree to add to different corners to give a more Christmassy feel all around. And I love the ones that are like wrapped in burlap at the bottom and has a couple like red berries. It did come with like this like star on a stick thing that I don't know is like totally me, but it came out really easily. And I can just like kind of like spruce it up, maybe add like a small like ornament or something on it, and just like stick it on a different shelf or something that to make it also feel more Christmassy. So yeah, and this was only $2, which I thought was like a really good deal. So yeah, I think I'm like getting excited about Christmas. Yeah, so that was all the things that I thrifted on our little 5-day road trip through the Kootenays. Yeah, so I thought I'd just show a couple other things that I thrifted before this trip that I haven't put in any videos, just to like show you. I wanted to pick up a few more frames, so I went out to one of my favorite thrift stores, which is the Hob 2 thrift store on Broadway. They tend to have more like collectible and interesting things, and sometimes they have frames, and they also have a cool selection of art sometimes, usually a little more than I want to pay for art, but I did get a couple of my gold frames that are like in the background from them before, so I thought I'd check them out. And I was in luck because they had some nice wood frames. So I got this one. It's a really pretty like carved wood frame. It says like deco on it. I guess I don't know if they're saying it's like a more art deco style. Solid wood, slight like gold silvery sheen to it, and it was $7. And I just thought it was a really nice like quality wood frame. And I have like this winter painting that I want to do for it, but maybe like when it gets a little colder and I'm feeling more winter, I will paint one for this. It has a cool like mustardy yellow, like kind of velvety back to it as well, which I thought was cool. And I also picked up this frame for $3. I really like that like nice chunky solid wood with a little bit of brass on the inside. I think they would mix in with my other frames really well. And this was only $3. So it was like $10 for both of them, but they also had like a 25% off discount for students, and I'm like, hey, I'm a student. So I got them both for like $8 something, which I thought was a really great deal. Yeah, and I love the tone of this wood, and I love how like smooth and like kind of different than like the normal like flat frames that you get. Anyways, I like these two frames. I was excited that I went there to look for frames, like wooden frames, and I found them. And even they were saying like, oh yeah, like We don't always have frames, but I'm glad that you found something that you liked, and me too. And now there was another thrift store that's right next to it. It's the BC SPCA thrift store, Wildlife Thrift, I think. And I decided to stop in because I was looking for a bigger frame. There's like this painting that I want to do, this peach painting that I want to try and recreate. But I felt like I needed a slightly bigger frame than the ones I had because I wanted to add some more details. And if I feel like if it was really small, it'd all be like really squished in there. So I also found it, and I think this is like the exact size that I was looking for. And I like that it has some like, it's like wood and it has some like carved details in there. And it has like that little like linen detail on it as well, which I really like in frames. I don't know how I feel about this shade of green. I feel like it's just not the right vibe for what I want to paint for it, like a moody still life with peaches and honey is the plan. So I might like cover that up with some Rub and Buff, and I'm also thinking like, I don't know if the gold is like too bright and too orange, so maybe I'll go over that with some Rub and Buff or spray paint. Yeah, I'm not sure, we'll see. Like yeah, I think the green isn't the right shade of green if it was going to be a green. It's a little dusty, but it was perfect, and it was only $8 for a frame this size. I thought that was perfect, and I am really excited to try and tackle that and see how that turns out. But this is the exact size that I wanted, so that was very exciting. Now, also at the thrift store, I thought I would stop by the book section because I've been really, as I've been trying to paint more, and I'm also trying to learn more about art and get inspired by artists that I really appreciate their art styles. So I've been really into like art books because one, like I really like decorating with like a thick coffee table book, as well as to have things that I want to like refer to for reference, and just like look through for inspiration. So I've been looking for art books. I saw some, like there was like this big coffee table book, like history of art, but it didn't have like the right photos that I wanted to like look at, and it was like really dense. I don't know, it just wasn't the right vibe. They also had a Van Gogh book, who I'm obsessed with at the moment, but just didn't have, I wanted like thicker ones with more photos, rather than ones that were like thinner. I don't know. Anyways, I was at the thrift store next door, and I looked through the book section, and I just saw like the glimpse of the cover, and I was like, that looks kind of like a Van Gogh style painting, and it actually is one of his paintings. And this book actually goes through a bunch of art that was like, I think they were taken from Germany to Russia, like I think before or after the Second World War. So it's a lot of like French painters whose art hasn't really been seen before. So I thought that was actually really cool. And I saw the cover and I like kind of recognized it. I was like, oh, that must be like an art book. I was like, this cover is a little loud for me though. But it did help me identify that it did have a lot of cool prints in it. But when you take the cover off, which is always like a key thing to do, it has like a beautiful black linen cover with like gold writing on the side. Which is like exactly the kind of style that I'm into. And it has like really good prints inside, which is like the kind of art books that I'm looking for. And it has like all my favorite artists, like all the impressionist, post-impressionist artists that I'm into, like Van Gogh, Degas, Monet. Like this is a Monet art piece, and I'm always like, I like flicking through these books because I feel like I only know, like my art knowledge is only like the really famous pieces by all these artists, and I want to see more of the pieces that they have done that I don't really know about. And this is like literally about pieces that like the world hasn't seen. I mean, this was published in like 1995, so maybe people have seen them now, but I don't think I have anyway. So anyways, this was really exciting. I didn't know the prices of the books there, so I asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, hardcovers are $4 unless otherwise listed, and there's no price, so it was $4, which is so good because I was like actually looking into buying some like coffee table art books, and they can be like really expensive. Like the last one I looked at was like $75, and I'm like, okay, I really like this book, but I don't like it that much. So I'm really happy that I found this. It just has like such good prints that I want to get inspired by, and I actually want to like read it and learn more about these artists as well, because I'm trying to like increase my art history knowledge as well, which has been fun. But yeah, that is everything that I've gotten lately. I'm really excited about all these. I think I need to again put the brakes on buying frames until I actually get through these, because I'm like staring at my pile of frames in the corner. It does like kind of intimidate me sometimes, but also I like having them knowing that I have like lots of frames to fill and I have lots of paintings that I can like paint for them. So yeah, that was everything that I got. Hope you enjoyed watching all of that. Yeah, let me know what your favorite thing was and if you found anything lately. And yeah, like the video if you liked it. I don't know, subscribe. This is what like YouTubers say, right? But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I wanna close my eyes and go back, play it in my mind. A movie of us two, yeah, we were happy at the time.